From Television City in Hollywood, the Jack Benny Program with Jack's special guest, Dennis Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you may have read, for the past few weeks, the star of our show has been touring the Orient, where he visited such colorful places as Kowloon, Tokyo, Bangkok. And just this morning, he returned from the exciting city of Hong Kong. And here he is, Jack Benny.
Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our show. You may go. Well, here I am doing... Don, I said you can go. Why are you standing there?
I'll tell you why I'm standing here. You've got a lot of nerve making a dignified man like me do a thing like this.
Well, Don, what's so undignified about this entrance?
Not the entrance I'm talking about. You made me pull you all the way from Beverly Hills.
So what?
All I know is every time you go on a trip, I am the one who suffers. When you came back from Alaska, I had to drag you in here on a dog sled. I've still got the whiplash.
Don.
And when you came back from Venice, I had to paddle you in here in a gondola.
Well, Don, I've got news for you. Next year, I'm going to India where everybody rides on an elephant, so watch it, brother. Now put this thing in a parking lot and wait for me.
Oh.
At dress rehearsal, he said undignified.
But,
ladies and gentlemen, ladies, I must tell you that Don, you know the reason Don is angry at me, and that's because I wouldn't take him on this vacation, this trip with me, you see? And I don't blame him because I had the most wonderful time. What a trip it was. I went to Honolulu first, you see, and then I went to Tokyo and Hong Kong. And, of course, Hong Kong is a place where everybody goes shopping because the prices there, they're so cheap, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's amazing the things that people will buy that they cannot absolutely use just because it's cheap. I did the same thing, you know. I came home with 24 flagpoles. I mean, what can you can only sit on one at a time. And then in Tokyo, oh, I must tell you, you know, Japan is westernized. It's very much like us, like we are over here, you see. And they even get our television shows there. Of course, they get the kinescopes, the real old ones. Our television shows there are about 3 or 4 years old. And I'll never forget, about a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting in the lobby of the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo watching the $64,000 question with a lot of people in it, see? And when the contestant answered the question correctly, the people in the lobby were all so excited, I didn't have the heart to tell them. Of course, I'd like to tell you more about my trip, but then I think I've said enough to make it deductible. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to get on with my show, it gives me great pleasure to present my singing star, Dennis Day.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for my song tonight. I'd like to sing a song.
Dennis, wait a minute. Before you sing, there's something I'd like to say to you.
You do?
Yeah. Now, Dennis, you know what? You have to travel And really, you have to be among strangers to appreciate the real friends that you have. You know? You really do. And I don't know, when you walked out here just now, I had the warmest feeling.
Get it over with. They want to hear me sing.
To take here, I've been thinking about you, worrying about you for weeks. You didn't even ask me about my trip.
Well, where you going?
Where am I going? I just got back. Look, I was in Honolulu and Tokyo and Hong Kong.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the long chopsticks.
Those were flagpoles. Long chopsticks.
You know, Mr. Benny, I'd like to take that trip sometime. Tell me, what was it like?
Well, let me tell you something. Honolulu is probably, that's the first place I went to, the most beautiful city you've ever seen. And the climate, it's practically always the same. It's nice. And I tell you, when you're sitting out on that beach and you're feeling that warm sand.
Get it over with. They want to hear me sing.
You asked me, didn't you? Now, don't ask me any more questions and go ahead and do your song then.
Okay.
He's the only guy I know that can take a 3-week vacation and ruin it in a minute and a half.
Your eyes are the eyes of a woman in love, and oh, how they give you away. Why try to deny you're a woman in love when I know very well what I say no moon in the sky ever lent such a glow. Some flame deep within made them shine. Those eyes are the eyes of a woman in love, and may they gaze evermore into mine. Crazily gaze evermore into mine.
That's a lovely song, and you did it beautifully.
I would have done it better, but I had my tonsils taken out this morning.
Dennis, would you mind repeating that?
Oh, I'd rather not. My throat is killing me.
Dennis, let me ask you something. I mean, why... What's my name?
Well, you mean how could I do it? Well, I thought of that. Sing without tonsils? I thought of that, but...
No, wait a minute, Dennis. If you had your... Dennis, look it. If you had your tonsils taken out this morning, you wouldn't be able to sing today.
I thought of that, so I had my undignified put back. I had them put back in.
Put back in? How could they...
I've got contact tonsils.
Oh, now look, Dennis, what doctor could possibly take out your tonsils and put them back in again?
I don't know, but all his other patients seem to like him very much.
They did?
Yeah, every time he passed by, they wagged their tails.
Now cut that out and get off.
If you had told me that earlier, I wouldn't have to come all the way from New York.
Well, I'm really sorry about it, Joyce, but I didn't know about it
Wait a
until
minute.
yesterday.
Oh, hello, Joyce. Wait, what's the trouble?
Well, Jack, as you know, I came 3,000 miles to tell everybody about the new Lux Beauty Soap in this sparkling new wrapper. And to say that it actually prevents blemishes, purifies your skin, and gives you a beautifully clear complexion.
Well, Don, Don't you want the people to hear that?
Well, certainly I do, Jack. But look, let me ask you something, Jack. You just got back from the Orient, didn't you?
Yes, yes.
Well, it just happens by a coincidence that Tokyo's #1 announcer is visiting in Los Angeles right now, so I thought it'd be quite appropriate if I had him do the commercial.
Japan's #1 announcer?
That's right. Yeah.
Well, that's a wonderful idea, Joy. I mean, I know our sponsor would love that. He likes novel things.
Well, as long as the people learn about Lux, I guess it doesn't matter who tells them.
Then you're not angry with me.
Oh, no. I'm not angry at all. It all ties in with your trip. Oh, and thanks a lot, Jack, for the flagpole.
I gave everybody flagpoles. You get one on your way out. Now, Don, where is... well, call out this Japan's #1 announcer.
Yeah, he's right out here. Mr. Kyoto, will you come here, please? Thank you. Mr. Benny, Mr. Kyoto.
Oh, how do you do? Now, Don, does he know what to say about the new Lux?
Well, no, Jack, but I have the commercial written right out here on a piece of paper. Oh, will you bring that table out, please?
Oh, this is a wonderful idea. Our sponsor will love this.
You're going to like this a great deal.
Well, Don, I want to thank you, too.
Well, you're certainly welcome. All right, Mr. Kyoto, if you'll go right ahead, please.
Take advice of Japan #1 announcer and use soap with most amazing skin purifier. The soap movie stars use wraps.
Rux?
Use Rux to get a beautiful complexion. Yes, go to favorite store and buy lots of Rux.
Lots of Rux?
Please believe me, you will love Rux. So when you go to your store, look for the new label that say Rux.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but after all, this is a commercial, you know, and we do have to get it right. So just let's go back a little bit, Mr. Kyoto. Now, look, now listen to this. Don, you say it. You say
All
it.
right. Go to your favorite store and buy lots of Lux.
Now, listen to me say it. Go to your favorite store and buy lots of Lux. Now, you say it.
Go to your favorite store and buy lots of Lux.
Look, you said it right. I mean, what went wrong the first time?
Well, that's what's written on the paper. Your crazy writers think that all Japanese say lots of Rux. We say lots of Lux just like you do. Good day, Mr. Benny.
Don.
I'll go. Sayonara.
Hey, undefatable, go. What a guy. That Don Wilson, he's got more nerve than Governor Long. You know, ladies and gentlemen, you know, every time I come back from a trip, I always have this kind of trouble with Don Wilson, with Dennis. Say, I'd have been better off if I'd have stayed in Hong Kong. As a matter of fact, I would have stayed in Hong Kong, except for one thing. You see, today is a very important day for me because, you see, this is the day that my sponsor is supposed to pick up my option for next year. Give me a new contract, you see, for next year. And they're waiting for me to get through with the show so I can see them. And they have offices right upstairs in this building. Now, there's a Mr. Lewis and a Mr. Hall, two very nice gentlemen. Oh, Don, would you come out here a minute? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes.
Hall,
Don,
it's
the
for
reason
you.
I called
New
you
York
out
is calling.
that I have a wonderful
Hello?
idea that...
Yes,
well,
Bob.
it-
Yes, we're going to meet with Jack up here right after his show. No, I don't think we'll have any trouble at all. We'll wrap this thing up, and we ought to be home by Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Well, hi, gentlemen. Jack, what are you doing up here? Your program is still on the air. I know. You see, I'll tell you what. I left Don Wilson there to take care of the show. you know, because I thought it'd be a wonderful idea if I came up here and we all signed the contract for next year, you see. Then I could go back on the stage, show it to the audience, and they'll be thrilled that I'm going to be with another year. Now, let's sign the contract.
Well, Jack, wait a minute.
What? What's the matter? What?
Well, Jack.
Herb, I'll tell him.
Well, somebody tell me. What? What?
Sit down.
What?
Jack. Now, Jack, this isn't one man's opinion or a hasty decision. Now, we've had many meetings. And, well, to come to the point, we don't feel you've been giving us the laughs we deserve for the kind of money we've been paying.
Excuse me, but are you fellas crazy? You were watching my program just now. Didn't you hear those laughs? Didn't you hear those screams?
We're glad you brought that up, Jack.
What?
Sit down. Charlie, have you got that videotape racked up? Yeah, that's the one, the edited version. Would you run it, please? Now, Jack, we're going to replay for you a segment taken from the show you did today. It's a perfect example of what we're talking about. Watch it.
Dennis, that was a wonderful song, and you did it beautifully.
I would have done it better, but I had my tonsils taken out this morning.
Dennis, would you mind repeating that?
I'd rather not. My throat is killing me.
Wait a minute. If you had your tonsils out, you wouldn't have been able to sing today.
I thought of that, so I had them put back in.
Back in? Dennis, how could they...
I've got contact tonsils.
Oh, stop being silly. Anyway, what kind of a doctor would take out your tonsils and then put them back in again?
I don't know, but all his other patients liked them very much.
They did?
Yeah, every time he passed by, they wagged their tails.
Now, cut that out.
Now, stop it.
Oh, fellas, really? I don't know what's the matter with you two guys. You heard the laughs we got out there, didn't you? You heard those screams.
Sure. Sure there were laughs. Sure there were screams. But we're saying you didn't get them.
I didn't get... What are you talking about?
We'll show you.
Sit down, John.
Again,
Charlie, now would you run that soundtrack you made of Just Mr. Benny's Lines? Yeah, that's right. Just Mr. Benny's Lines. Just play them over the set. Thank you. Now, Jack, listen to this, and we'll see how many laughs you got in that routine.
Dennis, that was a wonderful song, and you did it beautifully. Dennis, would you mind repeating that? Wait a minute. If you had your tonsils out, you wouldn't have been able to sing today. Back in? Dennis, how could they... Look, kid. Dennis. Stop being silly. Anyway, what kind of a doctor would take out your tonsils and put them back in again? They did? Look, Dennis. Dennis. Look, kid. Now cut that out.
Okay, Charlie, shut it off.
Look.
Charlie, I said shut it off.
But look.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was you.
Yes, that was me live from Television City.
Well, you weren't very funny, were you, Jack?
No, I guess I wasn't. Gee, I I never realized.
Hard to believe you've been getting away with this for 25 years.
26.
But, Jack, we're not going to let you go. We do have a contract for you at a 50% cut in salary.
See, only a 50% cut? Oh, that's wonderful. And thank you. Thank you very, very much. I certainly appreciate... Hey, wait a minute. What's the matter with me? And what's the matter with you? Sure, Dennis Day gets laughs. Everybody gets laughs on my program. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Because while they're out there telling those jokes, I'm standing right alongside them. Me! Me! And after each joke, I stand up there and I turn my head like this and stare at them. That's what gets the laugh. That's what gets. And I'm not taking any 50% cut.
Well, of course, that's up to you, Jack. We'll just sign up the rest of the company and play along without you.
Ha! Play along without me? Are you crazy? You need me.
Oh, do we?
Yes.
Charlie, bring it in.
Bring what? All right. All right, so you got a dummy that looks like me. But I mean, how are they going to know that that dummy is me? Where's is the life? Where's the personality? That's what I'd like to know.
Oh, Mr. Benny, there's something I want to ask you. When you get... Wait
a minute, I'm here!
Holy mackerel.
Well, look. Look at, all right, so you've got a dummy. You got a dummy that looks like me. You got a dummy that maybe, well, I mean, but show me, how can that dummy get laughs like I do?
Sure he can. Watch. Now, Dennis, you stand here right next to the dummy. And I want you to repeat some of the lines you did on today's show. The lines you said right after Mr. Benny told you how beautiful your song was. Oh, okay. Thanks, Mr. Benny. I would have done it better, but I had my tonsils taken out this morning. I thought of that, so I had them put back in again. I've got contact tonsils. His eyes are bluer than yours.
All right, look. So you got a dummy that looks like me and maybe even works like I do.
Oh, he works better than you do.
What do you mean better than I do?
Watch this. Dennis, would you say your last line again? I got contact tonsils.
Well, I've never tried that.
Well, Jack, you still think we need you?
Well, no. Maybe you don't need me. But let me ask you something. Who would you rather have sell your product? A funny comedian like that? Or a nice guy like I am? A fellow that sends you flagpoles? Mr. Hall, you tell him. Tell him what a nice guy I am, will you? Look, you, please, will you tell him Tell him what a nice guy I am. Dennis, you tell him, will you?
Tell them yourself. They want to hear me sing.
Oh, you sang all right. Look, take my advice, will you? Take my advice. Take my advice. Don't take this job. You'll hate everybody. Dennis Day, wait a minute. Dennis Day will drive you nuts. Don't take it. Everybody will drive you crazy. Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you did enjoy the show. And I want to tell you something. They're really not firing me or anything. I have a contract for next season with the same sponsors. And for the first time in television, I'm going to be on every week instead of every other week. Now, the dummy isn't going to be with me because the sponsors got him his own show on another network. Called the Jack Dummy Show. Well, anyway, I'll be back in 2 weeks, and next week be sure and watch the George Gobel Show, which is presented by Stripe, the red and white toothpaste. Thank you very, very much.
This is Kate Smith inviting you to enjoy some of America's finest music on our show tomorrow evening on most of these stations.
Appearing on tonight's program were John White, William Shalleck, and Robert Kino. The Jack Benny program is a J&M production.